welcome to my channel. Today's big question: why do we cry when we cut onions? Have you ever wondered while chopping up some onion for your favorite stir-fry or salad or whatever, and all of a sudden tears start streaming down your face? You're not alone. Almost everyone cries when cutting onions, but it's not exactly a universal experience. And even for those of us who do cry, some onions make us cry more than others. So what gives? Well, it turns out that onions are just doing their job, protecting themselves from being eaten. See, onions, and other members of the allium family like garlic and leeks, produce a special chemical called syn-propanethyl S-oxide. Scientists think this compound is a defense mechanism against being eaten, because it deters many insects and animals that try to munch on them. But it's also responsible for making our eyes water. When we cut into an onion, we break open the cells that contain this compound, which then reacts with the water in our eyes to produce sulfuric acid. This is the same stuff that is found in things like volcanoes and hot springs, and it is incredibly irritating. Our bodies respond to this irritation by trying to neutralize the acid, which produces even more sulfuric acid. And so the cycle continues until the onion is chopped. And we read too busy crying to notice that the onion has successfully defended itself. But why do some onions make us cry more than others? Well, it turns out that the amount of this irritating compound varies between different types of onions. And interestingly enough, cooking the onion doesn't break down this compound. In fact, it makes more of it. So if you're chopping a raw onion, you might want to cry into your sleeve to avoid having your face drenched in tears. And if you're chopping a cooked onion, you might want to chop it over a sink or something. But why do some people cry more than others when cutting onions? Well, it turns out that our sensitivity to this irritating compound is partly genetic. Studies have found that people who cry more when cutting onions have a genetic variant that makes it harder for their bodies to neutralize the sulfuric acid produced when they cut onion. So if you're one of those people, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. You just have bad luck in your genes. And yes, there are ways to reduce your onion crying, like putting the onion in cold water before chopping it, or wearing goggles while you chop, or just not chopping it so hard. But if you want to cry while you cook, nobody's gonna stop you. That's all for today. If you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe.